When reports of this great change reached them, other animals everywhere were incredulous. Dismayed and indignant, they headed toward Animal Farm from all directions, instinctively uniting once again in common cause.
Right about there.
Let me start that over.
Damn it, Dylan.
Pay attention.
Are you ready?
Let's do this. Welcome back, Uncommoners, to the most uncommon place on the internet. I am your host, Billy the Kid.
I am Butch.
And
We also have John Hancock in the studio with us today, too.
calm down, John Hancock. He's always a little excited. No. Alright, for real though, get your game face on.
Game face is on, here we go.
We're just here to update you guys a little bit on some stuff going on in Oregon, since that's where we're from. We haven't talked about Oregon in a while.
Yeah,
Kind of makes me a little uncomfortable.
Right.
There's some weird stuff going on in Oregon too. We should actually talk about them more. Oregon Republican Party press release. Salem, Oregon. Chairman Herman Bartschiger. No idea how to say that. I just brutally massacred that name. Sorry, guy. Herman called for a third-party audit of how the legislature handles harassment complaints made against elected officials following a whistleblower lawsuit alleging lawmakers pushed him out in retaliation for shedding light on how the current system protects politicians. Nate Monson, the former legislative equity officer, uncovered alarming trends in how the legislature addresses workplace misconduct. As the Capitol's legislative equity officer, Monson was tasked with fielding complaints and guiding complaints through their options. After only 2 months in the position, Monson resigned and was subjected to a witch hunt for trying to fix the broken system. Chairman Herman, because Herman is a lot easier to say, said Oregonians are growing tired of the doublespeak we see from Salem Democrats. They all claim to push for equality, but that buck stops at their door if they become the one subject to harassment complaints. We need a third-party audit for these processes and ensure complaints are heard and processed without interference from the political class. Named in the lawsuit are 6 legislatures: Senate President Peter Courtney, former House Speaker Tina Kotek, and 4 lawmakers who have overseen the harassment complaints process, along with Labor Commissioner Val Hoyle and the legislature's top attorney and human resource director. You can read the lawsuit at this link here.
And we'll provide the link down below.
So Chairman Herman is asking for an audit of how harassment complaints are handled.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yes. Because right now the current system is failing. And there a lot of the politicians and those in a political vantage point are saying they're pretty much untouchable. This reminds me of a recent thing that is happening in Washington, D.C., where a lot of the sexual harassment claims have been settled or paid out in hush money, and that's hush money paid by the taxpayers. And, if it's happening in Washington, D.C., it's happening up here, too. Wonder how much of our tax dollars are going to pay for hush money for somebody else's sexual indiscretions.
Mm-hmm.
I know I, as a taxpayer, I am really interested in where my money's spent. I'm really interested in how it's spent.
Yeah, that's our money. And if we're going to pay taxes, especially as a country that was never supposed to have to pay taxes, if we're going to pay them, then they need to be used for what we the people need and want them to be used for.
Right.
Not for getting politicians special treatment because they're politicians.
Exactly.
But I have to say, I agree with him that we need maybe like we do juries, jury duties.
Right.
Average citizens that go to sit and listen to whatever case, it could be a similar system.
He's guilty! You can see it on his smug little face! Guilty! I say guilty! 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 No!
Yeah.
There's no reason why there's not that system. In fact, it's kind of baffling that there's not a system like that. So instead you have politicians judging other politicians. Most of them are Democrats judging other Democrats. But I do think we're gonna be seeing some color changing in a lot of states.
Oh yeah.
And I think Oregon's gonna be one of them. And I think it's just time that we take our stance and take our state back.
Right.
And there's a lot of Democrats, citizen Democrats, fed up with Kate Brown.
Yeah.
So.
And they see what the policies they're choosing. How
what I'm worried about, though.
Everybody, including them.
Yeah, exactly. Them and all of these minority groups that so many of them, try to ally with. That's the new term for it, I guess.
Right.
Try to sympathize with. They're seeing how none of that actually matters to the Democratic Party.
Right.
To the animals, it now seemed that their world, which may or may not someday become a happy place to live in, was worse than ever for ordinary creatures. And another moment had come when they must do something about it.
A lot of Orwell going on around here, you know what I mean? It's like, people are waking up to that.
If you haven't read it, I recommend reading 2 books. If you ever read 2 books in your entire life, read these 2 books.
Which ones?
1984 and Animal Farm.
Yep. I knew Animal Farm was going to be the other one. I knew it. Freaking knew it.
If you ever read 2 books, read those 2 books.
Ain't that the truth? I say read 3.
Which is the third?
Fellowship of the Ring. Because once they read the first one, they're going to be like, what happens? And they got to read the others. But no, really, there's a lot you can learn from reading Lord of the Rings, too.
Yeah.
And as a Lord of the Rings fan, we're slowly walking into Mordor. Let me just say that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Anyway, that wraps it up. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think it's important to have third party, or should politicians just be able to judge themselves and get away with whatever they want? Stay uncommon.
That's all, folks.
You for real? The hell is wrong with you?